Right now we're following rain throughout our valley. This is a live look at our radar in the area. We're tracking all that rain right now and the damage from last night's storms. But first, let's head on right over to 13 First Alert meteorologist Dan Bronis, keeping an eye on all of it for us. And Dan, what's the latest?
Well, things pretty quiet across Las Vegas right now. And today wasn't an active day, at least with rainfall, but it was definitely an active day with those winds and dust that moved in at 10 o'clock this morning. We saw some outflow from some storms that picked up the dust and it moved right through the city. Things are clearing up now. We had a little bit of rain, which helped clear up the skies a little bit. And you can see a little bit of rain still left over around Las Vegas, but most of the metro not seeing much right now. And anything that is falling is really light at this time, so flooding is not a concern this afternoon. I do want to show you what the system looked like this morning back in Arizona. As it moved up to the north, you can see that little spin right there. That's what caused the rain to move up, but as it did, it weakened drastically. I mean, we had thunderstorms this morning all over Arizona. As soon as it crossed the border, things really wound down, but definitely nice out there now because it cooled off the air a little bit. Look at this right now, 89 degrees Las Vegas. A little moist out there still. Winds at 10 miles an hour. Winds have came down. I know when that front first moved through with the dust, winds picked up everywhere. 99 degrees, 6 o'clock. Well, that's probably a little too high. The models are taking into account the rain that didn't fall, but it definitely cooled us off. 92 possibly at 10 o'clock. So I think we are going to warm up a little bit before we cool back down. Now, man, these storms have been active the past week. Today we had the winds around, but that didn't help them clean up the damage in Henderson. Nina, she's out live right now with some of the damage reports in Henderson. Nina, how bad was it?
Well, some neighbors out here by Serene and Eastern is still without power since last night. And as you can see, a portion of this road is still blocked off as crews continue to work on those down power lines. Now, if you could walk with me right here, I want to show you this damage. You can see this huge tree fell onto this home. And from what it looks like, the tree was uprooted and that it knocked over the brick wall right here. Now, this is pretty much the damage that we've seen across Henderson as we went around this afternoon. Cleanup from Friday's storm isn't even over yet, but Saturday came with another round of strong winds hampering cleanup efforts. Around Carnegie and Paseo Verde near Green Valley Ranch Casino, a number of trees remain toppled, some blocking lanes on Carnegie Street. Cleanup efforts are still underway to remove other debris and tree branches on the road. One tree appears to knock over this light pole. And over by the residential area near Serene and Eastern, some homeowners are still without power coming from last night's storm. And some neighbors are literally picking up the pieces. Parts of their roof or wall were blown away. Some fences have completely come down.
I'm trying to put it all together and I can't either because the wind is still too strong to put that up there.
And it's hot and sweltering inside. We have no electricity, we have no running water because we're on a well, so we haven't had a shower, and needless to say, we're a little uncomfortable.
And those neighbors without power tell me that it has been frustrating because it's been really hot and really humid all day. But if anything, their neighbors have been really kind, giving them food and water, providing some sort of relief. Back to you guys at the studio.
And as Nina just mentioned, we are seeing quite a few power outages in our area. About 130 customers are still without power right now. NV Energy sent out an alert that some customers in Henderson will remain without power, but they are working to restore that power as quickly as possible. And to stay updated with severe weather or any other weather changes, download our free mobile app. Just search KTNV in the App Store or in Google Play. We want to go now to some breaking news out of Los Angeles. Right now, police in Los Angeles are monitoring a possible hostage situation inside a Trader Joe's. This is a live look you see right there. Police say a chase suspect ran inside the store. Right now, police are confirming a woman has been hospitalized, but it's not clear the type of injury that she sustained. We're going to keep monitoring the situation and bring you any updates as soon as we get them.
I know it wasn't, but it felt like I struggled for It felt like I struggled for at least an hour.
We're now hearing from one of the victims of the fatal duck boat tragedy. Tia Coleman lost 9 members of her family. All 17 people who died have now been identified. Investigators now confirming the 31 people on board were not wearing life jackets when that boat capsized. Camilla Bernal has some new information about the final moments of that ride.
All 17 victims have been identified, and now one of the survivors is speaking out. That woman that lost 9 members of her family, including 3 of her children and her husband, she describes what she thought would be the end.
I lost control. I didn't have anybody with me. I couldn't see anybody. And I know it wasn't, but it felt like I struggled for at least an hour.
We're learning more about the final moments of the Ride the Ducks amphibious tour boat that sank Thursday near Branson, Missouri, killing 17 of the 31 people on board, including 9 members of the Coleman family from Indiana, ranging from ages 1 to 76 years old.
It's definitely life-changing.
Tia Coleman says there were life jackets on board, but the passengers were never told to put them on.
I thought that at some point he would say, grab the jackets now. But we were told to stay seated. When that boat is found, all those life jackets are going to be on there because nobody pulled one off.
The NTSB is on the ground and looking into the incident, which happened around 7 p.m. local time Thursday when a massive storm hit the area, spawning 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and strong waves.
We're working to interview the survivors and the witnesses to gather physical evidence, particularly perishable evidence. We'll be taking some evidence back with us to Washington, D.C. for further examination.
And investigators also saying that they do expect a preliminary report in the coming weeks, but a full report can take about a year. Reporting in Branson, Missouri, I'm Camila Burnell.
The man accused of a shooting spree inside a Maryland newsroom has now been indicted. He's now facing 23 charges, including 5 counts of murder. He's accused of walking into the Capitol Gazette building on June 28th and opening fire, killing 5 people and injuring several more. His first court date is set for July 30th. Several victims of the 1 October shooting and family members who lost loved ones are planning to hold a news conference on Monday. They'll discuss the lawsuit filed by MGM against victims and their families. The press conference is scheduled for 10 a.m. in Newport Beach, California. The family of a Las Vegas mother who was killed in the 1 October shooting wants to help children of other victims. Nessa Tonks's family is setting up a college scholarship for those children to honor her memory. Nessa's mother says she selflessly mentored and helped others. There are 51 children that they say can benefit from this scholarship. If you want to donate, there is a GoFundMe page set up. We have the link to it on our website at ktnv.com. Actor Anthony Anderson, the star of the ABC sitcom Blackish, is under investigation by the Los Angeles Police Department after a woman alleged he assaulted her more than a year ago. The woman says she first met Anderson while working an event he hosted. In the statement, Anderson said, quote, "It's unfortunate that anyone can file a police report whether it's true or false. Police say this is an open investigation." We're now learning President Trump's lawyers are waiving attorney-client privilege regarding the secretly recorded conversation he had with former longtime attorney Michael Cohen. As Brian Clark reports, the president now lashing out publicly at Cohen for the first time.
President Trump taking to Twitter Saturday morning, lashing out at his former lawyer Michael Cohen. Inconceivable that the government would break into a lawyer's office early in the morning, almost unheard of. Even more inconceivable that a lawyer would tape a client. Totally unheard of and perhaps illegal. The good news is that your favorite president did nothing wrong. Although he has tried to downplay Cohen's significance in the past, this is the first time the president has come out publicly against Mr. Cohen. Sources confirmed to ABC News Cohen recorded a conversation with then-candidate Donald Trump about payments to a former Playboy playmate, Karen McDougal, who alleges an affair with Trump. The president has denied any extramarital relationship, as well as any knowledge of hush money paid to McDougal. But the approximately 2-minute-long in-person conversation, the tape made secretly by Cohen, undercuts those denials. The recording among items seized in that FBI raid of Cohen's home, office, and hotel room. According to sources, Mr. Cohen outlines a scheme to reimburse publishers of the National Enquirer $150,000 it paid for McDougal's story. The tabloid magazine, published by American Media, which is owned by a friend of the president's, never published the story, a tactic known as catch and kill. Sources familiar with the tape say Trump tells Cohen to properly document any payment. But the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, saying the reimbursement never happened. A source with knowledge of Cohen's legal team's thinking states, quote, "A lawyer taping a client is not illegal. It is the equivalent of retaining notes, and that the tape is privileged, but it is the client who owns privilege." The president's legal team waiving privilege. Giuliani, in a statement to ABC News, saying, quote, "It was already out there, so seemed no point in objecting except on principle." Brian Clark, ABC News, New York.
Well, still to come, 2 moms speaking out after they say they were asked to cover up while breastfeeding their children at a public pool. Their story now blowing up online.
And outside, we got some rain across Las Vegas. Nothing really in the metro. Very light rain, especially northeast of town. I'm going to let you know if any more rain can fall today, plus what that 7-day forecast holds for our future.
All right, we've been talking about all the rain hitting our area. Well, some passengers flying over Las Vegas Thursday got some front row seats to a lightning storm lighting up the night sky. Wow, that is some crazy video. Better than any show on the Strip, Dan. That's some wild lightning there.
Absolutely cool to see too, especially from the plane there. Now, if you're flying into Vegas now or know anyone, they're not seeing that because we've got some light rain around town. That's it, no lightning at all. Things very light. There's no major concern of seeing flooding today, no concern of seeing that thunder or lightning because the clouds that we saw today. I mentioned this morning, if you're watching, the more clouds we had, the less likely we'd see some heavy rain, and that's exactly what happened. Just some light rainfall here and there. And right now we're still looking at a little bit of rain across Las Vegas. Some of the heavier rain right now moving across Interstate 15. You can see it just north of Las Vegas, near that Apex exit. You can see right across it 15 there north of Sunrise Manor, or excuse me, Nellis, seeing that rainfall. Now, Futurecast showing you the clouds are going to stick around the next couple hours. You can still see, if you look closely there, a little bit of a spin in that Futurecast. That spin in the atmosphere is going to sit over Las Vegas for a while. The rain is going to be light if we see much, and it's not really going to cause any concerns, except if you have outdoor plans, you might get a little rain on them over the next few hours. Then we really dry up tonight. Look what happens by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We get that sun out. But the difference tomorrow is this little piece of energy is going to quickly move to the east and take our moisture with it. So we're going to start drying out tomorrow. Slight chance of monsoon storms over the mountains. You can see a little bit of green there. But overall, things are looking quiet for your Sunday, but there still is a 10% chance of rain. Now, we did not hit 100 today. Good news. So keeping this at 40 days at 100, which is $4,000 Raising Cane's is giving to Make-A-Wish. Right now, look at your temperatures. The high was actually 98. That was around 11 o'clock that we hit that. Well, they've dropped since then because of the winds that moved in and the rain showers. 89 right now, Las Vegas, 87 Anthem. Still warm, Pahrump, 96. You didn't really get the rain or those stronger winds, so your temperature's able to increase this afternoon. There's your winds now. Still a little breezy Indian Springs, but those numbers are going to come down. As you can see around Las Vegas, we're not looking at much of a breeze. Gust up to 20 still. That's about it. Looking outside, much clearer than earlier. We got clear skies out there. Things looking pretty good. Take a look at the last 10 monsoons. This year, we're not doing too bad. We're far from the most in the last 10 years. Look at that one monsoon. We picked up 3.5 inches of rainfall in the monsoon alone. What a year 2012 was. Well, we keep it damp Sunday and Monday on your muggy scale. And then by Tuesday, Wednesday, man, I'm telling you, we're going to dry out big time. And because of that, our numbers are changing big time as well. Tonight, temperatures drop back to the mid-80s, 85 Las Vegas, 83 Spring Valley. Tomorrow, a little warmer than today because we're not expecting the rain. 106 in Las Vegas, 104 Spring Valley tomorrow. Pollen counts are going to be low throughout the next several days. Don't expect these numbers to change like they haven't over the last couple weeks as well. There you go. It's looking pretty bad past Monday. Numbers going up big time. 10% chance of rain through Tuesday, I think. Very slight chances. That's it. But look at the numbers. They go up. 113 Tuesday, 114 degrees Wednesday. That'd be the hottest so far this year if we get there. 113 still Thursday, and then temperatures come down, but still hot by next weekend. And really, our chances of rain looking very, very, very slight all week long, Tom.
Hey, at least it's a dry heat. Thanks, Dan. Well, the rapper Offset was arrested on weapons and drugs charges. Clayton County, Georgia police say Offset was with his bodyguard yesterday when he was pulled over after an improper lane change. Officers found 3 guns, less than an ounce of marijuana, and over $100,000 in cash. Offset is part of the rap trio Migos. Last week, his wife, rapper Cardi B, gave birth to their first child together. A transgender woman in Arizona says her local CVS pharmacy refused to fill her first hormone therapy prescription. Hilda Hall says it happened back in April. Hall says the pharmacist made her feel embarrassed, loudly asking in front of others why she needed that prescription. In an ACLU website blog post, she says he didn't give her any reason for refusing to fill it. In a statement, CVS says that pharmacist violated policy and no longer works for them. 2 Minnesota mothers got in some hot water while with their children at a public pool. They were breastfeeding their children and were asked to either cover up or go to the locker room area. As Kate Raditz reports, the mothers stood their ground and they're now getting praise from others.
When 3-month-old Roman got fussy with mom in the shallow end of the Mora Aquatic Center, she knew he was hungry.
There's not really a choice sometimes. So I was wearing a one-piece swimsuit, slipped my strap down and just fed him.
She was there with her sister-in-law, who'd also breastfed her baby in the waiting area. Together, they had 6 kids with them. The women say shortly after Roman was fed, another guest approached them.
Patron came up, a lady at the pool, and told me that I needed to cover up because her sons were swimming.
Then the women say a staff member asked them to cover up or go to the locker area. The women refused.
The reason I didn't get out of the pool to breastfeed is my kids. I gotta watch my kids.
Minnesota statute does state a mother may breastfeed in any location, public or private, where the mother and child are otherwise authorized to be, irrespective of whether the nipple of the mother's breast is uncovered during or incidental to the breastfeeding. Eventually, a police officer showed up. The women decided to leave. Stephanie posted about the experience on Facebook, and the post has gone viral. There's even a nurse-in planned at the pool to support nursing mothers.
And we just don't want any other mom to feel that she needs to cover up.
That was Kate Radis reporting the mothers are filing discrimination charges against the city and the county. The city says it supports breastfeeding mothers, but also acknowledges some patrons felt uncomfortable. Well, still to come, a warning. Thieves now have a new way to steal our information online, and it's catching many companies off guard. You're watching 13 Action News. Stay with us on this Saturday evening. Well, buying a used car can be a roll of the dice, but there's a little-known rule that's meant to help protect us in the long run. It's called the Buyer's Guide, and every used car is supposed to have one. The Federal Trade Commission recently upgraded that guide to make it more clear and transparent. Car lots were required to have these new guides posted earlier this year. The government just inspected 94 dealerships in 20 cities, and those dealerships didn't do very well. Only 14 of them had those guides on all their used vehicles. And here's what part of that new guide can help you with later on. The as-is sale warning is now more clear. That'll tell you whether the dealership will pay for any future repairs. The new guide also has to tell you if there's any manufacturer warranties left, and you'll also be able to see the vehicle's recall history. Well, thieves have a new way to steal our information online, and it's catching many companies off guard. Investigative reporter Jace Larson takes us into the world of digital skimmers.
We have all seen the news stories. The devices that are put on a gas station credit card reader and then try to skim our credit card information.
MageCard is nothing more than the same thing, but on a website.
Wait, who is MageCart? Well, let me tell you, they're an online group of mainly Russian hackers. They write special code that they then insert secretly on websites, and then they can digitally skim off your data when you make a purchase.
So you put your items in your basket, hit checkout, go to your payment details, you enter your information, and then it's stolen.
Jonathan Kleinsma is the lead threat analyst for Risk IQ. He's been following MageCart since they first started hacking, when they were hacking the little guys.
They've also found ways to actually go after the big guys. So I mean, Ticketmaster is a pretty big one to go after.
That's right, even Ticketmaster has fallen prey. They're the biggest company announced in the hack so far, and there are over 800 e-commerce sites around the world that have been affected by this latest skimming code. So what does all of this mean for you?
So as a consumer, there's not a whole lot you can do. That's the problem.
Kleinsma does say we should expect better security from the companies that we work with.
Consumers should expect these big websites, or at least any web store, to protect their private information.
I'm Jace Larson.
Well, credit card debt keeps climbing. New research from site Magnify Money finds we've paid nearly $104 billion in credit card interest and fees over the last year. That's up 11% from the year before. Overall, our credit card debt has hit more than $1 trillion. To pay off your debt, you can tackle the card with the highest interest rate first and pay the minimum on the rest, or you could start by paying off the card with the lowest balance first. Well, still to come, an unpleasant surprise. A man finds a live snake in his toilet. Who it belonged to and how they were able to get it out. But first, here's a preview of World News Tonight.
Coming up, the devastating memories from a mother who survived that tourist boat disaster, plus the president going after his former fixer, what he's now saying about Michael Cohen, and the circus performer shot from a cannon crashing into the crowd, why the stunt was doomed from the start.
And we continue to follow that breaking news coming out of Los Angeles. Police now confirming a car chase suspect is barricaded inside a Trader Joe's. This is a live look you're seeing right there. We're working to find out how many people are inside. We'll keep you updated on KTNV.com and our later newscasts. Well, it sounds like maybe a bad joke or an urban legend, but a man in Virginia Beach found a live snake in his toilet.
Look down before you sit down.
James Hooper says he was just standing in his hallway when he saw it. Hooper and his wife called in their roommate, Kenny, who grabbed a fishing line.
I just turned around, looked at the toilet, and I couldn't believe it. I thought somebody was pranking me.
I tie a little noose, got the line around its head, and I started tightening it up, and I said, I think I got it.
It got bigger and bigger as it came out.
Wow, they put that snake in a bucket and then called animal control. Well, it turns out the ball python was actually a neighbor's pet that had gotten out. Its owner saw a post on Facebook and recognized their pet snake. He's now headed home to a more secure cage. Wow. And another scary encounter, a woman in Nebraska found 2 black widow spiders when she reached inside a bag of grapes. A spokesperson for the grocery store where she purchased those grapes called the incident unfortunate and says they refunded her money. I think unfortunate's kind of not the right word. I'd be pretty scared.
Could you imagine? Lucky she saw that.
Yeah, absolutely. Crazy.
Oh, scary stuff, that is for sure.
Crazy. And here's a look at what's coming up in tonight's primetime lineup right here on ABC. At 8 o'clock, America's Funniest Home Videos. At 9, Truth and Lies, the Mendez Brothers. And remember to keep it right here for 13 Action News live at 11.
And at 11 o'clock, we'll also have that updated forecast. But right now, we have some light showers pushing away from Las Vegas. And you can see over the last hour that radar really has quieted down. Just some light rain returns north and northeast of town. And over the lake, Boulder City still seeing a drizzle. So, yeah, a little bit active weather today with that dust and winds. And now things are clearing out. Things looking pretty good for the rest of the weekend.
Hopefully, it'll dry out a little bit more. This humidity has been rough.
It's been a tough week.
Some good news there. All right, well, that's our news for right now. Stay with us for world news coming up next. We're always on at ktnv.com, our mobile app, Roku channel, and the latest version of Apple TV. We'll see you right back here in half an hour for 13 Action News Live at 6. Thanks for watching.